Chapter 2143 Mini Glutinous Rice Balls. Yun Chujio was really scared this time. The inner garment on her body was torn to shreds by D. Biming, and only the inner garment was left on D. Biming. This fellow deeply understood two sentences. He had brought this upon himself, and another sentence was, if he didn't do it, he wouldn't die. D. Biming's deep gaze swept across Yun Chujio's body, and Yun Chujio couldn't help but tremble slightly. She was both embarrassed and afraid. She stuttered, "Look, what are you looking at?" I haven't had any waves yet." "Look, what are you looking at?" D. Biming's Adam's apple bobbed. "Even though I don't have a big bun, I can make do with a small steamed bun." You are shameless." "Sob, you only know how to bully me. Do you think I want a small steamed bun? It's still a damn guai chow." "Sob, you all bully me." This fellow was both embarrassed and angry. He simply howled again. "All right, stop crying, I want touch you." D. Biming sighed, picked up the blanket and covered Yun Chujio's body, while he lay on the other side. How could he not care about what Yun Chujio's body really wanted? He just wanted to scare Yun Chujio so that she would not always fan the flames, but not put out the fire, which would make him want to explode. "Woo woo, but you don't like me as a little dumpling." This guy was crying even harder. "Sigh. Don't say that you are a little dumpling, you are. I like Tangyuan too." D. Biming's face turned red after he said that. Yun Chujio was stunned. She lifted the blanket and looked at her chest. It was really not as big as a little dumpling. It was really a Tangyuan, and it was a mini Tangyuan. This fellow cursed Go Weiba a few hundred times in anger before hugging D. Biming and acting coquettishly. "Prince Charming, I knew you were the best." This fellow was really big-hearted. He did not think that he was naked now and was hugging D. Biming just like that. Unless D. Biming was a eunuch, how could he bear it? D. Biming felt that he had dug a deep hole for himself. On one hand, his body was so hot that it was about to explode. On the other hand, he could not hurt his sweetheart's rationality. He was on the verge of breaking down. D. Biming's forehead was covered with fine beads of sweat. You put on your clothes first." Yun Chujio finally realized that something was wrong. She picked up the blanket and covered her face. Damn it, she was too ashamed to see anyone. Please read on/Evoxenzero. This guy was embarrassed and angry. He cursed Go Weiba again. Damn it. Damn Go Weiba. If it wasn't for you, would I have had to endure so much? Such a perfect Prince Charming is placed in front of me. I can only see but not touch him. It's so painful that I want to die. D. Biming listened by the side and thought to himself, this line should be mine, right? You endured so much? I'm about to explode. Yun Chujio cursed for a while before taking out a set of undergarments from her storage ring. She hid under the blanket and changed into it. Only then did she get out from under the blanket. Yun Chujio's face was blushing. She was really as beautiful as a peach blossom, especially her two red lips. D. Biming couldn't resist anymore and kissed her. Although he could not eat all the black stuff, it would be good to collect a deposit first. Just as D. Biming's lips covered Yun Chujio's lips, the voice transmission talisman in the storage ring started to vibrate. He originally did not plan to respond, but someone knocked on the door. Your Majesty, someone is coming." And Feng's heart was broken. He knew that His Majesty Xiao He must have written him a debt, but he had no choice. If someone came and barged in, it would be bad. Chapter 2144 Guai Chao's Ridicule. Fuck off. Settle it yourself. If you can't settle it, I'll settle it myself. D. Biming was already very angry even though he couldn't eat the big meal. Now that he was interrupted just as he was about to eat a small snack, one could imagine the depression in his heart. The miserable Dark Wind had a confused look on his face. Settle it himself? How should he settle it? Could it be that he killed the person who came? If it was in the past, this fellow might have thought that D. Biming's words were just to scare him. But now, he was not sure about this evil star who was getting colder and colder. It was better for him to solve it obediently. The person who came was Mo Fengjiao. She was basically used to coming to Yun Chujio's place every now and then to gather information. If she did not come in a few days, she would feel that she was lacking something. She originally didn't want to come over today, but when she thought about the news she heard, she couldn't sit still. Although it was already late, she still ran over. And Feng saw that Mo Fangjiao was alone and didn't bring a maid, so he gritted his teeth. No matter what, he had to knock her unconscious first. He would let Ninth Miss handle the aftermath. After all, Ninth Miss was resourceful and could do anything she wanted. Open the door. Mo Fangjiao, open the door quickly. I have something important to ask you, Mo Fangjiao said as she knocked on the door. And Feng cursed in his heart. Something important. What was important? No matter how important it was, there was still our superior's unsatisfied desires. Was intimacy important? And Feng opened the door from the inside. Mo Fangjiao was a little puzzled. The door was open. Where was the maid who opened the door? Before she could react, Feng swung his knife and knocked Mo Fangjiao unconscious on the ground. And Feng could not help but let out a long breath. Fortunately, it was nighttime, and it was a sneak attack. Otherwise, it would not have been easy to succeed. He was not as perverted as his lord. The two maids fainted just by swinging their sleeves. And Feng closed the door again. He was afraid that Mo Fangjiao would not faint completely, so he smelled some sleeping powder for her. Only then did he feel at ease. At this moment, Di Baiming and Yun Chujio did not have the time to care about who was in the room. As they were kissing each other, Di Baiming reached his hand into Yun Chujio's clothes. The two of them trembled and started kissing even more intensely. After a long time, the two of them reluctantly separated. Di Baiming only had one thought in his mind. No matter what, he had to get rid of the damn Guaichao. Otherwise, if he kept holding it in, it would really kill him. Please read on /NVOXN0. Yun Chujio's eyes were watery, and a thought flashed through her mind. If she could get rid of the Guaichao, she would have to fight with the pretty boy for 3 days and 3 nights. The Guaichao thought that it might be the most hateful grass in the world, but there was nothing it could do. It also wanted to grow in other places, but it could not find a suitable place. Besides, why did this black-hearted little girl remember to fight and not eat? Who helped her to be immune to all poisons? Who helped her summon demonic beasts? Who helped her resist the heat? If it wasn't for this black-hearted little girl, she would have died hundreds of times. Didn't it just stop 2 people from having sex? What was so bad about that? It had even made a huge contribution to the late marriage and late childbirth. If Yun Chujio knew the thoughts of Guaichao, she would probably turn it into a specimen. It was the kind of powder specimen. Little Jiao, by the way, I came here mainly to hear from Feng that you were attacked. Who wants to kill you? Di Baiming's eyes revealed a trace of viciousness. The Yi family, which is also my grandfather's family. Yun Chujio told him what happened. Although the Yi family is a first-class family, to me, it's no problem to kill them all. Do you need me to kill them all? Di Baiming thought about how Yun Chujio was almost killed. He did not care about the bullshit 3-year pact. He wished that he could kill all the members of the Yi family to vent his anger. Chapter 2145. A silly goose with a lump in its head. Yun Chujio shook her head when she heard Di Baiming's words. Prince Charming, I appreciate your kindness. You know that I'm not a pretentious person, but it's better for me to settle this matter by myself. Firstly, I can't be sure that all the people in my grandfather's family are bastards. I have to check them out first. Secondly, you can't always protect me. It's better for me to become stronger by myself. Di Baiming's eyes twitched. Was it really appropriate to use the word bastard to describe his grandfather's family? Di Baiming took out a jade token from his storage ring and handed it to Yun Chujio. Oh right, little Jiao, this is for you. This jade token is a defensive immortal tool. It can at least withstand a fatal blow from the 5th layer of the ethereal space realm. 1. Where did you get it? Yun Chujio took it and looked at it. Defensive spirit tools and immortal tools usually had a hard time producing a tool spirit. After refining it, it could be used directly by Qi Ling 1. I got it after killing some people. I also transferred some defensive spirit tools to you. I don't need it. Di Baiming said and transferred many defensive spirit tools to Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio knew that it was not that Di Baiming did not need it, but he was worried about her. She blinked her starry eyes and pecked at the corner of Di Biming's mouth. If you give it to me, I will keep it. But you must be careful. Di Biming nodded. You don't have to worry about me. I have already made some progress in my matter. You just have to focus on your cultivation. Yun Chujio knew that Di Biming was going to leave again. She felt a little bitter in her heart, but she knew that there was no other way. In this place where the strong preyed on the weak, only the strong had the right to say no. Prince Charming, this is for you. Yun Chujio took out a wooden box from her storage ring. Di Biming's expression changed. He opened it and saw that there were more than 10 small porcelain bottles inside. When he uncorked the bottle, it was indeed Yun Chujio's blood. Di Biming's heart was filled with pain, anger, and even more self-blame. With a cold expression, he said to Yun Chujio, Little Jio, this is the last time. If you still secretly bleed behind my back next time, I will bleed twice as much for you to see. Yun Chujio. Pretty boy, are we competing to see who can hurt themselves more? You idiot. Di Biming said as he put on his coat. Although the expression on his face was still very serious, his eyes were full of reluctance and concern. He gritted his teeth. Remember what I said. I'm leaving. If the Yi family makes things difficult for you again, or if you have a problem that you can't solve, you must tell me. You are reading on Abo XN0 Veal. Yun Chujio also put on her coat and nodded obediently, and, Prince Charming, don't worry. Although my spiritual power is a little weak, I won't fight them head-on. I'll play dirty with them. Di Biming's face stiffened. There was no one who could say dirty things so confidently. Yun Chujio sent Di Biming out of the house. And Feng saw that the two of them had finally come out and heaved a sigh of relief in his heart. He was so nervous that he was about to die. He was afraid that someone would come over again. Di Biming kissed Yun Chujio on the forehead and left with Feng. And Feng pointed at Mo Fangjiao who was lying on the ground. When he saw Yun Chujio nod her head, Feng wanted to say something but hesitated. He thought for a while and left. Yun Chujio looked at Mo Fangjiao who was lying on the ground and thought of the two maids who were unconscious in the side room. She rolled her eyes and helped Mo Fangjiao into the house. Yun Chujio placed Mo Fangjiao on the chair and smelled the antidote for the sleeping powder. When Mo Fangjiao opened her eyes, she saw a female ghost with disheveled hair and red lips standing in front of her. She was so scared that she almost fainted again. Chapter 2146. Ghosts, Ghosts, Ghosts. Mo Fangjiao screamed in fear. Sister Fangjiao, are you possessed? Where is the female ghost? Besides, is there such a beautiful female ghost? Yun Chujio curled her lips and said. Mo Fangjiao had just woken up and was a little confused. Now that she looked carefully, she realized that the female ghost in front of her was Yun Chujio. Why are you letting your hair down for no reason? Sister Fangjiao, what time is it? Isn't it normal for my hair to be let down when I sleep? Then what's wrong with your lips? Why are they swollen? Yun Chujio finally understood the look in Feng's eyes before he left. It turned out that the battle with Di Biming was too intense and his lips were red and swollen. This guy said without changing his expression, don't mention it. I suddenly had a craving for spicy food. I ate a lot of spicy food just now, so my lips became like this. I opened the door for you just now because I was afraid that you would see me embarrass myself, so I hid behind the door. Who would have thought that Sister Fangjiao would faint? You scared me to death. Are you all right? Did you leave in a hurry or are you hungry because you didn't eat tonight? Mo Fangjiao was also frightened and didn't recall the details. Moreover, she never dreamed that she was knocked out by someone. Therefore, Mo Fangjiao was confused. Why did she faint for no reason? Sister Fangjiao, I guess you are hungry. Come, I have some snacks from the main room. Eat a few pieces. Yun Chujio took out a plate of pastries and placed it on the table. Mo Fangjiao really wasn't full that night, so she casually picked up a piece and ate it. Yun Chujio's eyes flickered a few times. As long as she ate something, the sleeping powder wouldn't be detected. Even if she wanted to check, she wouldn't be able to find anything. Mo Fangjiao ate 2 pieces of pastries and remembered the purpose of her visit. She hurriedly said, Tomorrow, Sister Fangbing's maternal family and Zhu family's relatives will come. Have you heard? Yun Chujio shook her head. I've been studying alchemy in the Great Elder's study today and haven't seen Sister Fangbing. Besides, what does her maternal family have to do with us? You are reading on Imibio Xn 0 Vil. Calm Mo Fangjiao pursed her lips. Are you stupid? Why doesn't it have anything to do with us? Sister Fangbing's maternal family is a second-class family. Maybe she came here to look for a suitable junior. This is a good opportunity for her to soar to the sky. Tomorrow, you find an excuse to bring me along, do you understand? Yun Chujio finally understood why Mo Fangjiao came to look for her in the middle of the night. It turned out that she wanted to turn from a sparrow into a phoenix. TSK, I have to say, Mo Fangjiao's brain was still enough on this matter. She knew that she would create an opportunity for herself. Sister Fangjiao, although this matter is a little difficult, but who is with whom? No problem. Leave this matter to me. Tomorrow morning, you and I will go to the main room together. Yun Chujio promised with a smile. Mo Fangjiao saw that Yun Chujio agreed so readily and was very satisfied. She did not have the time to pursue the matter of her fainting just now. Her mind was full of thoughts on how to dress for the next day. Mo Fangjiao gave a few more perfunctory words and then left in a hurry. Yun Chujio did not bother about Chun Xiao and Chun Yu. In any case, the two of them would wake up tomorrow morning. This fellow was lying on the bed, suffering from insomnia that was hard to come by in 1,000 years. She thought about de-biming, looked at her right palm, and thought about the matter between the Yi family and the merman. She felt very troubled and did not feel sleepy for a long time. However, this fellow's mental adjustment ability was very strong. After a while, he finally fell asleep. Chapter 2147 The Zhu family. The next morning, Yun Chujio opened her eyes. The corner of her mouth curled up. A new day had begun. Xiao Hanio, who was inside the spiritual beast bag, could not help but sigh inwardly. He had to admit that this black-hearted master was really tenacious. He would not give up or retreat no matter how big the difficulties were. Yun Chujio had not even washed up when Mo Fangjiao ran over. Her face was covered with meticulous makeup, and the clothes on her body were obviously carefully selected. Fang Chao, why are you only getting up? Hurry up. Mo Fangjiao urged impatiently. Yun Chujio waved her hand. Sister Fangjiao, we can't go too early. Otherwise, Sister Fangbing will find a reason to chase you out. You won't even have the chance to meet the Zhu family. Why don't we go a little later? We just happened to bump into each other. Sister Fangbing can't chase us out, right? Mo Fangjiao was stunned. She felt that what Yun Chujio said made sense, and the smile on her face became much more sincere. You're really a little smart. Alright, I'll listen to you. 2 hours later, Yun Chujio brought Mo Fangjiao to the Mo family's main house. Yun Chujio had been coming to the main house almost every day these days, so the guards in the main house knew her. Originally, the higher-ups could have just let Yun Chujio in, but seeing that Yun Chujio was bringing Mo Fangjiao with her, the guard could only say respectfully, "Please wait a moment, my two ladies. I'll go in and report." Go ahead. Just say that Sister Fangjiao and I are here to pay our respects to Grandfather Xiao Quan and Grandmother Tian, Yun Chujio said with a smile. Everyone in the main room's living room was discussing the matter of receiving the Zhu family's people. After hearing the report from the servants, Mo Fangbing's mother, Zhu, curled her lips. Zhu sure thought to herself, these two little girls were not paying respects to her father-in-law and mother-in-law. They clearly knew that her family's people were coming over, so they came. In her dreams, it was not their turn to arrange the marriage. Let them in. Mo Xiaoquan and old Madame Tian were both well-versed in the ways of the world. They could naturally think of anything that Zhu Shi could think of. Although they were unhappy, they could not shut the two juniors out. Moreover, this marriage was not something that the two little girls could snatch away just like that. Yun Chujio and Mo Fangjiao entered the living room and naturally greeted them. The people in the main house were neither cold nor warm, especially Mo Fangbing, whose eyes were filled with disdain. Yun Chujio was a thick-skinned person and did not take it seriously at all. Although Mo Fangjiao felt uncomfortable all over, when she thought of the glory of marrying into a second-class family, she could not care less about being embarrassed. Therefore, even though Mo Xiaoquan had already raised his teacup, the two of them still had no intention of leaving. You are reading on MYBOXN0VL. At this moment, a servant came over to report that the Zhu family had arrived. Mo Xiaoquan and the Tian family were elders, so it was naturally not good for them to go out to welcome them. Thus, the Zhu family brought Mo Junkin and Mo Fangbing out to welcome them. After a while, a wife who was about the same age as the Zhu family came in with 2 maids and a young man. When Yun Chujio saw the young man's appearance, she was shocked. Wasn't this the Diao Xiaoyan she met in Thunder City back then? Back then he even fought with her over the courtyard. What was more hateful was that when they were about to leave Thunder Disaster Valley, this Diao Xiaoyan even asked his subordinate to push her. Very good, it's not too late for little Jio to take revenge. The opportunity is here. We'll see. The moment the young man entered, his gaze turned towards Mo Fangjiao. When he saw Yun Chujio, he was also stunned. Smelly girl, why are you here? Chapter 2148 continued. Everyone's attention was immediately attracted by Diao Xiaoyan's words. That madam could not help but glare at Diao Xiaoyan. Don't be rude. Hurry up and bow to your elders. Diao Xiaoyan pursed his lips. In his heart, he did not think much of the Mo family. They were just a small family that had just squeezed into the 3rd class. What kind of elders were they? However, he remembered his purpose and could only pretend to bow to Mo Xiaoquan and old Madame Tian. The madam who came was the wife of the first brother of the Zhu family, Pan Shi, while Diao Xiaoyan was the second son of the Pan family, Zhu Jinghu. Mo Xiaoquan and old Madame Tian gave generous gifts for their meeting. Seeing that the gifts were very generous, Diao Xiaoyan's attitude became a little better. After everyone exchanged pleasantries, Mo Fangbing's eyes flickered as she said, Cousin Jinghu, have you seen Sister Fangchao before? Diao Xiaoyan, who was also Zhu Jinghu, snorted coldly. Cousin Fangbing, I didn't expect this trash to be your cousin. Last time in Thunder City, she fought with me for the courtyard, but in the end, she still obediently gave the courtyard to me. Stinky girl, I thought you died in Thunder Disaster Valley. I didn't expect you to still be alive. Yun Chujio looked at him indifferently. Young Master Zhu, we are all relatives. It's not good for you to hurt people, right? Relatives? Just your Mo family, Jinghu. Don't be rude. Pan Shi was afraid that Zhu Jinghu would say something inappropriate, so she quickly stopped him. Zhu Jinghu glared at Yun Chujio and didn't say anything else. Mo Xiaoquan didn't feel dissatisfied with Zhu Jinghu when he saw the situation. Instead, he felt that it was all Yun Chujio's fault, and he was even more displeased with Yun Chujio. However, due to his embarrassment, he directly kicked her out, so he could only give old Madame Tian a look. Old Madame Tian smiled and said, Fangchao girl, why didn't you go to your eldest great-grandfather's courtyard today? Grandmother Tian, I like a lively crowd the most. There are guests at home today, so I wanted to join in the fun. You don't want to kick me out, do you? Yun Chujio said with a smile. Old Madame Tian's face stiffened. What are you talking about, little girl? Why would I chase you away? I'm just afraid that your great-grandfather will miss you. You are reading on Inbo X0. Grandmother Tian, don't worry. The great-grandfather happened to have something to do this morning. I'll go see him in the afternoon. Little fellow, you want to chase me away? No way. Old Madame Tian gave Mo Xiaoquan a look. What she meant was that this fellow's skin was too thick and he couldn't be chased away. The Pan family was very shrewd. When she saw the situation, she could guess some clues and couldn't help but feel disdain in her heart. A 3rd-class family was just unrated and didn't have any rules. It was better to complete the matter and leave this place as soon as possible. Uncle, Auntie, to be honest, I came here for 2 things. The first thing was that Jing Hu's wife passed away half a year ago, so I planned to help him look for a girl to be his second wife. If the Mo family had a suitable girl, and Jing Hu happened to like her, then we would settle the marriage. The second thing was that my mother-in-law's health had not been very good. It was not easy to get a famous doctor to treat her, but she needed the 7-leaf hollow grass as a medicinal primer. Jing, who was filial and once went to the Lightning Tribulation Valley to look for it, but unfortunately he did not find it. I also found out by chance that the great elder of your residence had once happened to obtain a 7-leaf hollow grass by chance. I wonder if he still has it? If he does, our Zhu family is willing to pay a high price to purchase it. If he doesn't have it, please tell me where he is going. Lady Pan explained her purpose for coming. Although her words were rather polite, her attitude was high and mighty. Lady Pan's words clearly carried a sense of coercion. She was determined to obtain the 7-leaf hollow grass. If the Mo family didn't hand it over, she would be putting pressure on them. Chapter 2149. Pan Shi's proposal for a second marriage was just a bargaining chip. Even if it was a second marriage, it would still be a second marriage for the son of a second-class family. Moreover, the late wife did not leave behind a man and half a woman, so this marriage was no different from a legitimate marriage. Therefore, in the eyes of many people, marrying Zhu Jinghu as a second marriage was a great thing. The Zhu family's plan was very obvious. They planned to let Mo Fangbing marry into the family. She had once tried to fix up this matter, but the Pan family did not care about the Mo family's family background at all, so she directly rejected it. A few days ago, during Mo Junkin's wedding, Mo Yonghui had drunk too much and spilled the beans. He said that the great elder had a 7-leaf hollow grass. The Zhu family felt that this was a great opportunity, so they sent a letter to the Pan family. That was why the Pan family brought Zhu Jinghu over. Although Mo Shaoquan was a little displeased with the arrogance in the Pan family's words, he didn't take it to heart. After all, the Zhu family was a second-class family, while the Mo family was barely a third-class family. The two family strengths were vastly different. Mo Shaoquan said in a deep voice, "How about this? You guys stay here first. I'll go ask my father if he has the 7-leaf hollow grass. Then we can discuss the next matter." Hearing Mo Xiaoquan's words, Pan Shi had a 90% confidence that the Mo family's great elder really did have the 7-leaf hollow grass. This was also good. If she got the 7-leaf hollow grass, she would be able to win the favor of her mother-in-law. As for Mo Fangbing, although her family background was a little poor, her aptitude was not bad. Moreover, Jing, who was not the eldest son, so the candidate for a second marriage was about right. Pan Shi politely said a few words, then got up and planned to bring Zhu Jinghu to the guest house. Unexpectedly, Zhu Jinghu walked up to Mo Fangjiao and pretended to be suave as he said, "Sister Fangjiao, this is my first time coming to Fuhu City. If you have nothing to do, accompany me for a walk." Everyone in the room was stunned. Mo Fangbing's eyes were practically spitting fire. This Mo Fangjiao was indeed a shameless slut. She dressed beautifully just to seduce her cousin. She really deserved to die. Pan Shi frowned. If Jing Hu wanted to marry, he could only marry Mo Fangbing. This was because only the Mo family's eldest son had 7-leafed hollow grass. Moreover, this Mo Fangjiao was obviously restless. She was not worthy of marrying into the Zhu family. "Jing Hu, let your cousin Fangbing accompany you for a walk. If it's convenient for these two ladies, they can accompany you. If it's not convenient, then it's not troublesome." Pan Shi's words were vague, however. The subtext was to tell Mo Fangjiao and Yun Chujio to get lost and not to be an eyesore. Mo Fangjiao wanted to marry into the Zhu family, so how could she let go of such an opportunity? She pretended not to understand Pan Shi's meaning and quickly said, "Auntie, I happen to be free today, so I'll accompany Jing Hu for a walk." Yun Chujio's mouth twitched in her heart. This Mo Fangjiao really had a brain. Lady Pan did not take a fancy to her at all. Moreover, this was a transaction between the Zhu family and the big house. No matter how happy she was, she would not marry her. What was the point of her being proactive? However, this fellow liked to fan the flames and fish in troubled waters the most, so she echoed from the side, "Yes, I don't have anything to do. Let's go together. It can just resolve the misunderstanding between me and young Master Zhu." You are reading on MIBOXN0 Mo Fangbing's hands were tightly clenched in her sleeves. "Mo Fangjiao, Mo Fangchao, these two bitches, I won't let you off." Zhu Jinghu was rather pleased with himself. Of course, he knew that the Pans wanted him to marry Mo Fangbing, but he felt that Mo Fangbing's ice-cold personality was really not interesting. She was not as pleasing to the eye as Mo Fangjiao. As for that Mo Fangchao, it was fine to follow. It was a good opportunity to take care of her when the time came. Chapter 2152 Women vying for a husband. Pan sure held her own status and did not say anything else. She only gave Zhu Jinghu a warning look, telling him not to act recklessly. Zhu Jinghu smiled indifferently and gave a perfunctory bow to Mo Xiaoan and old Madame Tian. Then he brought Mo Fangbing and the other two out of the large room. Along the way, Zhu Jinghu and Mo Fangjiao chatted and laughed. Although Mo Fangbing was half-dead angry, her personality was cold and arrogant. She could not be as soft-spoken as Mo Fangjiao, so her expression became even gloomier. Zhu Jinghu did not like Mo Fangbing's ice-cold appearance to begin with. Now that he saw her ugly expression, he was even more displeased. He was here to marry a wife, not a resentful wife. It was boring. Zhu Jinghu originally wanted to take the opportunity to teach Yun Chujio a lesson, but his thoughts were all seduced by Mo Fangjiao. He did not think of finding trouble with Yun Chujio for a while. Yun Chujio happily followed behind the three of them to watch the show. She felt that the days to come would be very exciting. TSK, two women fighting for a husband, and she was even a cousin. It was beautiful. The four of them strolled around and it was time for lunch. Brother Jinghu, I'm a little hungry. Mo Fangjiao directly turned her cousin into a brother. Zhu Jing's heart softened when she called him. Sister Fangjiao, since you're hungry, let's go to the restaurant across the street for lunch. Order whatever you want, it's my treat. Zhu Jinghu said as he held Mo Fangjiao's hand. Mo Fangbing couldn't take it anymore and said coldly, Cousin, let's go back to the manor for lunch. Maybe great-grandfather already has news. Mo Fangbing said this to remind Zhu Jinghu not to forget the purpose of his visit. Moreover, he could only marry her. Although Zhu Jinghu was lustful, he knew that a small arm couldn't beat a big thigh. He could only marry Mo Fangbing, this cold beauty. Alright. It's really troublesome. Sister Fangjiao, let's go out for a walk tomorrow. When the time comes, I'll go to your residence to look for you. Zhu Jinghu said to Mo Fangjiao with a smile. He decided to use some tricks to get Mo Fangjiao. When the time came, he would let her be a concubine. After all, the rice had already been cooked. She had to marry whether she wanted to or not. Mo Fangjiao's face blushed. Brother Jinghu, I'll wait for you at the residence tomorrow. Don't disappoint me. Zhu Jinghu looked at Mo Fangjiao's bashful appearance and wished he could get her on the bed right away. However, Mo Fangbing glared at him from the side and could only reluctantly follow Mo Fangbing away. You are reading on ABO XN0 Calm. Mo Fangjiao stared at Zhu Jing's back until she could no longer see him. Only then did she withdraw her gaze. Yun Chujio watched from the side coldly. She was conflicted about whether she should get involved in this mess. She could conclude that no matter how much Mo Fangjiao tossed and turned, the best result would be to marry Zhu Jinghu as a concubine. Moreover, no matter how she compared it, Mo Fangjiao would not be able to defeat Mo Fangbing after marriage. Zhu Jinghu was just trying to be fresh. Although her relationship with Mo Fangjiao was not very good, and there was even a bit of unhappiness, watching a little girl being raped by a scumbag, Yun Chujio's remaining sympathy was still overflowing. Alright, these were all the lines that this guy used to clear his name. In fact, this guy wanted to take revenge on Zhu Jinghu, that Diao Xiaoyan. Damn it, did he want to kill me back then? Now, I'll let you go for nothing. Not only can you not get the beauty, but you can also forget about getting the 7-leaf hollowgrass. However, now that Mo Fangjiao's maiden heart was burning, Yun Chujio knew that now was not the time. So after returning to the 5th room, Yun Chujio did not say anything and went back to the New Moon Pavilion. Chapter 2151 Brainwashed. Mo Fangbing. The next morning, Zhu Jinghu indeed sent someone to deliver a letter to Mo Fangjiao, asking her to meet him at the tea house. Mo Fangjiao naturally went to the appointment excitedly, while Yun Chujio hopped to the Mo family's main house. After this fellow entered the main house, he did not look for the great elder first, but came to see Mo Fangbing instead. Mo Fangbing naturally did not have a good expression when she saw Yun Chujiao. What are you doing here? Why didn't you pimp for Mo Fangjiao today? The corner of Yun Chujia's eyes twitched. This Mo Fangbing's words were really sarcastic, but her description was quite appropriate. Yun, Sister Fangbing, can you let them out first? I have something important to tell you. Yun Chujio said mysteriously. Mo Fangbing frowned and let the maid go. She also stood guard outside and did not allow outsiders to come close. Then she asked Yun Chujio, what do you want to tell me? Sister Fangbing, although we didn't get along very well, I admire you from the bottom of my heart. Not only are you beautiful, but you also have superb spiritual power. The most important thing is that you have a clear mind. We can be considered to have a mutual appreciation. Yun Chujio put on a few hats for Mo Fangbing before getting to the main topic. Humph, cut the crap. What do you want to say? Although Mo Fangbing said this, she was still a little proud in her heart. Sister Fangbing, I'll just say it directly. Do you think that I brought Sister Fangjiao here yesterday because I didn't have good intentions? Did I deliberately come here to disrupt your marriage? Humph. Do you know yourself? Mo Fangbing said coldly. Sigh. Yun Chujio let out a long sigh, then she continued, Sister Fangbing, you really misunderstood me. The reason why I brought Sister Fangjiao here is firstly because Sister Fangjiao requested it herself, and secondly, I also want to help you test your fiancé's character. In the end, TSK, Sister Fangbing, don't you feel wronged? Based on your qualifications, which part of you isn't better than Sister Fangjiao? That Zhu Jinghu turned a blind eye to you, but he just had to fawn over Sister Fangjiao. I really feel that it's not worth it for you. Yun Chujia's words hit Mo Fangbing's heart. She hadn't slept for almost a night. On one hand, she hated Mo Fangjiao and Yun Chujio for disrupting the situation, and on the other hand, she hated Zhu Jinghu for being blind. Sister Fangbing, actually, there's something I don't understand. With your qualifications, isn't it too unfair for you to marry that ignorant and incompetent bastard Zhu Jinghu? Not to mention a second marriage, even being the main wife would be extremely unfair. With his appearance, one look and you could tell that he was a womanizer. Moreover, he looked like he loved to cause trouble. It's not that I'm cursing him, but with his smug look, he might be beaten to death one day. At that time, you'll have to be a widow. You are reading on Mbo Xn 0 Vil. Calm Sister Fangbing, think about it. You just married and you became a widow. Then you really became a widow. Are you willing to die just like that? Yun Chujio kept talking about being a widow as if she was brainwashing her. Mo Fangbing's face turned pale and her hands trembled slightly. You're talking nonsense. Cousin Jing who would not treat me like that. Moreover, the Zhu family is a second-class family. They would not let anything happen to Cousin Jinghu. Besides, what can I do with the words of the matchmaker and the orders of my parents? Mo Fangbing defended herself. Yun Chujio was secretly happy. It seemed that Mo Fangbing had always been against this marriage, which made it even easier to handle. Sister Fangbing, of course I have to listen to the orders of my parents. However, you know that there's a fire pit in front of you, yet you still jump into it. Then you're a fool. If you're not happy, can your parents be at ease? Sister Fangbing, you're a smart person. You must know that what I said is true. Other than his family background, that Zhu Jinghu has no redeeming qualities at all. Marrying a good girl like you is like a good cabbage being eaten by a pig. Are you really willing to be eaten by a pig? Chapter 2152, Persuading Mo Fangbing. After listening to Yun Chujia's words, Mo Fangbing did not speak for a long time. She was much smarter than Mo Fangjiao. Although she did not know what Yun Chujia's motive was, she admitted that Yun Chujia's words made sense. Zhu Jinghu was not a good match at all. After a long silence, Mo Fangbing stared at Yun Chujio. What is your motive? To put it simply, Zhu Jinghu almost killed me last time. Naturally, I don't want to see him carry a beauty back. To put it simply, although we sisters aren't happy, we are still related by blood. How can I bear to see you jump into a fire pit? Yun Chujio said with an expression that said, I'm doing you a favor. Humph, you say it nicely. I think the first one is your motive. Mo Fongbing snorted. Sister Fongbing, don't bother about my goal. I just want to ask you one thing. Do you want to marry Zhu Jinghu, that pervert who always causes trouble? Mo Fangbing's face stiffened. She thought to herself, you've already portrayed Zhu Jinghu as a pervert. Do you think I want to marry him? Yun Chujio saw that Mo Fongbing did not say anything and continued, Sister Fongbing, I know that you have big ambitions. Marrying a bastard like this is definitely not what you want. I will give you a clear path. I will think of a way to get 2 chances to go to a higher education institution or a large sect to take the test. When the time comes, you will go with me. With your talent, it is simply too easy for you to stand out. Moreover, there are many outstanding men in higher education institutions or large sections. Aren't you free to choose any of them? Isn't it much better than finding a second-rate person like Zhu Jinghu? How about it? If you are willing, you can cooperate with me and we can ruin this marriage. After listening to Yun Chujio's words, Mo Fongbing was stunned on the spot. Her eyes were actually slowly turning red. She did not expect Yun Chujio to understand her thoughts so well. She had never been willing to marry and have children at an age like her mother, leading a mediocre life. She wanted to make a name for herself, which was why she hated Yun Chujio for being favored by the Great Elder. She had also tried her best to perform, hoping to gain the favor of Mo Shaoquan and the Great Elder. However, the Mo residents had always prioritized boys over girls, even though her brother was not as talented as her. However, the resources of the family were all stuffed into her brother's hands. The family had planned for her to marry into a good family, so she had accepted her fate. At least marrying into the Zhu family could be considered as getting ahead, and she would be the best among the Mo sisters. Yun Chujio did not say anything else. She knew that Mo Fongbing had been persuaded by her, but she needed a process of self-persuasion. You are reading on MYBOXN0VL. In a sense, Yun Chujio liked people with Mo Fangbing's personality more than people like Mo Fongjiao. A girl like Mo Fongbing had ambition in her heart and the desire to become stronger. Moreover, she was more willing to rely on her own strength to climb up. Although Mo Fongjiao also had ambition, she mostly wanted to rely on others. Fortunately, she had another advantage. She was simple-minded, so it was not easy to be a big villain. After a full quarter of an hour, Mo Fongbing stared at Yun Chujio and asked, Can you really get the chance to participate in the test? Yun Chujio nodded confidently, Of course. Even if it's not for you, I will do it for myself. If Yun Chujio had said this more than 10 days ago, Mo Fongbing would not have believed it. But now, she believed at least 90%. This Mo Fongbing was able to make her great-grandfather look at her differently. She had to admit that she did have some tricks up her sleeve. Chapter 2153 was a little more pleasing to the eye. What do you need me to do? Mo Fongbing decided to take a gamble. If she won the bet, she would win a new world. If she lost the bet, the worst outcome would be that she would lose the engagement. It would not be a pity if she did not marry Zhu Jinghu. Yun Chujio whispered a few words, and Mo Fongbing nodded. Okay, I can cooperate with you, but you have to swear an oath. Otherwise, I won't believe you. All right. People just lack trust. Am I a person who will lie to others? Heaven above, if I lie to Sister Fongbing, I will be struck to death by lightning. Sister Fongbing, can you do it now? Yun Chujio said with a smile. Mo Fongbing saw that Yun Chujio had already sworn an oath, so she was relieved. Moreover, she didn't know if it was an illusion, but now she found Yun Chujio more pleasing to the eye than before, and she didn't seem to be so annoying anymore. The two of them chatted for a while more about the details before Yun Chujio got up and went to the Great Elder's courtyard. Great Elder, I'm here. Yun Chujio's voice came before she arrived. Others thought that Yun Chujio did this because of her hot temper, but in fact, she had her own little Jiojio. She shouted to give the people in the room a hint so that they wouldn't see or hear any secrets. When the Great Elder saw Yun Chujio jumping in, he could not help but put on a straight face. You little girl, why didn't you come yesterday afternoon? Yun Chujio giggled. Great master, I wanted to come, but I knew that you would definitely discuss the Zhu family with grandfather Xiaoquan, so I tactfully did not come. The great elder's eyes flashed. Then what do you think the result of our discussion is? Yun Chujio blinked her eyes. Great elder, I said it's fine, but don't blame me if I say something offensive. You clever little girl, just say it. I won't blame you. The great elder scolded with a smile. Great elder, I think that grandfather Xiaoquan's opinion is definitely to ask you to hand over the 7-leaf hollow grass and marry sister Fong Bing. As for you, I think you haven't decided whether to do this or not, so you're using the delaying tactic now, so you definitely haven't given the Pan family an answer yet. Am I right or wrong? Yun Chujio finished speaking, she tilted her head and asked the great elder. The great elder didn't make a comment. Instead, he asked, then tell me, why would I hesitate? Great-grandfather, most people would naturally think that this is a great thing. After all, although the 7-leafed hollow grass is precious, it's nothing compared to the marriage of the Zhu family. But who are you? You are the wisest person in charge of the family, so it is natural for you to think long-term. You are reading on MIBOXN0VL. These two things may seem like a good thing, but when you think about it carefully, they are both bad things. Let's talk about the marriage first. Sister Fangbing's family background is not as good as the other daughters-in-law of the Zhu family. In addition, she is a married woman, and her personality is cold and arrogant. She cannot please her in-laws and husband, so naturally, she will be bullied. When Sister Fangbing came back and cried, could her parents just stand by and watch? They would definitely negotiate with the Zhu family, but the Zhu family was powerful, and they would not be able to get back any justice. As time passed, the relationship between the two families would naturally deteriorate, and in the end, the in-laws would become enemies. To put it bluntly, that Zhu Jinghu was not a good person at all. Who knows, one day he might cause trouble and be killed by someone. At that time, Sister Fangbing would bear the reputation of being a husband's nemesis. How could the other girls of our Mo family get married? The marriage was still fine, but the most fatal thing was the matter of the 7-leaf hollow grass. No one knew which idiot told the Zhu family about this, but it was simply a disaster. The Zhu family had been searching for the 7-leaf hollow grass for a long time. When the time came, they would definitely feel that grandfather, you had the 7-leaf hollow grass in your hands, but you did not take the initiative to offer it. You really did not know your place. Moreover, I don't know if the doctor that the Zhu family found is reliable or not. If he were to use his medicine, old lady Zhu would die instantly. She would definitely vent her anger on our Mo family. When the time comes, a calamity really fell from the sky. Chapter 2154, 7-leaf reed Yun Chujio made some noise. Regardless of whether it was far-fetched or not, she had already said all the possibilities that she had thought of. In short, it was the same goal, which was to stir up this matter. The reason why Yun Chujio wanted to stir up this matter was firstly to take revenge on Zhu Jinghu, and secondly, she had her own little Jiujio. Although the great elder had asked her to come over to learn alchemy, it seemed that she was still hesitating whether to keep her in the eastern continent, so she was prepared to drag Mo Fangbing down with her. If she proposed to apply for higher education institutions or large sects, the great elder's side would be fine. The other people in the large sect might not agree, but if she brought Mo Fangbing along, the chances of agreeing would be greatly increased. Moreover, this fellow had too many enemies. No matter what, he had to rope in a few allies. Mo Fangbing's identity was special. It was very suitable to be used as an ally. The great elder listened to Yun Chujio's words and did not speak for a long time. He had lived for so long, so he could naturally tell which of Yun Chujio's words were realistic and which were exaggerated. However, he had to admit that this little girl had a lot of foresight compared to Xiaoquan. Although Zhu Jinghu was the legitimate son of a second-class family, he was arrogant and arrogant. If he caused trouble, he would cause trouble sooner or later. Not only would this marriage not bring benefits to the Mo family, it might even cause trouble. The 7-leaf hollow grass could not be given out. Otherwise, the Zhu family would definitely think that the Mo family did not say anything in the past because they were prepared to use it to exchange for benefits. Not only would they not be grateful to the Mo family, they would even start a feud. As for what Yun Chujio said about the death of Kufu and old lady Zhu, the great elder naturally did not take it to heart. He knew that it was all nonsense from Yun Chujio. The great elder sighed, "What a pity! What a pity! If only you were a boy. You are so smart. You are much stronger than your grandfather, Xiao Quan. That stupid fool could not wait for me to take out the 7-leafed hollow grass yesterday." Sighed. Yun Chujio laughed dryly. Great-grandfather, Grandfather Xiao Quan is in the middle of this. I'm a bystander. What do you plan to do? You sure know how to talk. She naturally couldn't agree to this matter, but how could this matter be resolved satisfactorily? As far as I know, it was your uncle Yonghui who leaked the 7-leaf hollow grass, and then the Zhu family told the Pan family. The great elder stared at Yun Chujio with a burning gaze. The reason why he did not give the Pan family a reply was that he did not think of an excuse to not offend the Zhu family and to reject the matter. Great elder, the Pan family is using the marriage as a bargaining chip, so as long as they do not hand over the 7-leafed hollow grass, the marriage will naturally come to an end. You are reading on MIBOXN0VL. As for the 7-leafed hollow grass, it is also easy to deal with it. A few days ago, when I was reading a book here, there was a record that the 7-leafed hollow grass was very similar to the 7-leafed reed. However, from its appearance, there was almost no difference. Only after the leaves were pulled out would there be a slight difference. The juice inside the 7-leaf clover was slightly thicker, while the juice inside the 7-leaf reed was similar to clear water and had a faint fruity smell. You could have told Pan that at first, you thought that the 7-leaf clover in your hand was going to be offered to the Zhu family, but later found out that it was only the 7-leaf reed, so you didn't offer it to the Zhu family. The key to this matter is that you must get a 7-leaf reed as soon as possible, and you must not let the Zhu family find out about it. Otherwise, it will backfire, Yun Chujio said with a smile. Chapter 2155. A genius is a genius. The great elder was stunned for a moment before he laughed out loud. He took out a jade box from his storage ring. There was a stalk of medicinal herb inside. From its appearance, it looked exactly the same as the 7-leaf hollow grass, except that one of its leaves had been torn off. Yun Chujio clapped her hands. Looks like this is the 7-leaf reed. That's great. This is flawless. Great elder, you weren't at the scene at that time. Although that Pan's words were polite, that high and mighty attitude was simply too hateful. Also, that Zhu Jinghu didn't even take our Mo family seriously. But wasn't he just reincarnated into a good reincarnation? What's so great about it? Sooner or later, our Mo family will definitely surpass their Zhu family. The great elder frowned. When Mo Xiaoquan told him about it, he did not mention these things. Now that he heard Yun Chujio's truthful description, he naturally felt very uncomfortable. Although the Zhu family was a second-class family, Zhu Jinghu was, after all, a junior. He actually dared to be so presumptuous. He was really arrogant. All right, I will handle this matter. Have you learned the disaster-breaking pill that I taught you a few days ago? The disaster-breaking pill was a level 11 medicinal pill. The great elder had just taught Yun Chujio the refining method a few days ago. I went back and tried it a few times. Although I was able to successfully refine it, the success rate of the pill was very low. It was basically 30 to 40%. Therefore, I still need to practice for a period of time. Yun Chujio, this fellow, decided to hide her foolishness to the end. That was why she said that on purpose. In fact, this fellow had already known how to refine the disaster-breaking pill long ago. What? 30 to 40% success rate of the pill? The great elder suddenly raised his voice. Yun Chujio's heart sank. It was over. She had hidden herself too much. If she had known earlier, she would have said 60% to 70%. She did not know if it was still too late to fill in the blanks. You can actually have a 30% to 40% success rate in just a few days? Genius. Genius. An ordinary person would need at least half a year to learn a high-level medicinal pill. You actually learned it in less than 10 days. You're really a genius. The great elder's beard curled up. He was clearly very excited. Yun Chujio. How could she be considered a genius like this? Damn, if he had known this would happen, he would have said that he had a pill success rate of 10 to 20%. A genius was indeed a genius. Even if he was hiding his abilities, he was still so outstanding. There was really no other way. The great elder said a few more encouraging words. Then, the two of them began to discuss some difficult questions regarding pill refinement. The atmosphere was very harmonious. At this moment, Mo Xiaoquan asked to see him. After the guards passed the message, Mo Xiaoquan walked in. When he saw Yun Chujio who came over to pay her respects, he did not have a good expression on his face. Even his own son had to pass the message when he came in, but this little girl who came out of 5 clothes could come in directly. He did not know what his father was thinking. Father, Madame Pan is urging me through Yangwi's wife again. What exactly is your opinion? Mo Xiaoquan felt that the great elder might be old and always cautious when handling matters. This was a great opportunity to curry favor with the Zhu family. It was really hard to understand why he had not made a decision. You are reading on MBO XN0 view. Xiaoquan, the herb in father's hand is not a 7-leaf hollow grass but a 7-leaf reed. The Zhu family's matter can only be dropped. What? Father, what did you say? Didn't you tell me that it was a 7-leaf hollow grass? Mo Xiaoquan said in disbelief. The great elder took out the jade box. He handed it to Mo Xiaoquan. Take a look for yourself. This 7-leaf reed and the 7-leaf hollow grass look very similar on the outside. The only difference is the juice inside the leaves. It was only later when I flipped through the book that I discovered this. Otherwise, if I really gave it to the Zhu family, it would definitely be a huge mistake. Chapter 2156. Bubbles turn into bubbles. After the first elder handed the jade box to Mo Xiaoquan, he said to Yun Chujio, Fang Chao girl, find the book that records the difference between these herbs for your grandfather. Okay. Yun Chujio answered crisply and started to rummage through the bookshelf. Actually, this guy could find it in an instant, but he still pretended to rummage through it for a while before handing a book to Mo Xiaoquan. Mo Xiaoquan looked at the records on it and picked up the leaf to sniff it. Indeed, there was a faint fruit fragrance. His expression immediately became dejected. Such a good opportunity had slipped away. He reckoned that Fang Bing's marriage could only be abandoned. What bad luck! First elder gave him a few more instructions before Mo Xiaoquan took the jade box containing the 7-leaf reed and left dejectedly. The great elder shook his head. Not only did he not have a vision, but he also did not know how to hide his worries. Fortunately, he was still alive, or else it would really be difficult for the house to keep its position as the head of the family. The great elder knew Mo Xiaoquan's character, so he simply lied to him to avoid giving himself away. Yun Chujio blinked her eyes and thought of that silly girl, Mo Fangjiao. She then said to the great elder, Great elder, I reckon that grandfather Xiaoquan will come to look for you to discuss sister Fangbing's marriage, so I won't be an eyesore here. They'll practice alchemy at home tomorrow and come back the day after tomorrow. The great elder nodded. There were indeed some words that were inconvenient for Yun Chujio to hear. All right, you can go back. Yun Chujio bowed and then left. After Yun Chujio returned to the 5th room of the Mo family, she found that Mo Fangjiao had not returned yet. She was probably still flirting with that Zhu Jinghu on the street. It was not until evening that Chun Xiao reported to Yun Chujio that Mo Fangjiao had returned. Yun Chujio curled the corners of her lips and decided to save the silly girl who had lost her way and at the same time teach that bastard Zhu Jinghu a lesson. Yun Chujio brought Chun Xiao to Mo Fangjiao's courtyard. After the maid passed the message, Yun Chujio entered the house. Mo Fangjiao's face was full of pride. When she saw Yun Chujio, she was unprecedentedly enthusiastic. Sister Fang Chao, you're here? Xiao Yan, hurry up and serve the pastries, tea, and spirit fruits. You are reading on Imbo X0 Vil. Yun Chujio inexplicably thought of the pimp that Mo Fangbing had mentioned. The corners of her eyes twitched. After the maid served the pastries and the like, Yun Chujio said, Sister Fangjiao, I want to tell you something. Can you let them go out first? Mo Fangjiao found Yun Chujio pleasing to the eye. She immediately let the maids go out and asked, Sister Fang Jiao, what do you want to tell me? Sister Fang Jiao, have you been with Zhu Jinghu all day? Mo Fang Jiao blushed and nodded. Yes, let's go for tea first, then go shopping and then go for dinner. Mo Fang Jiao recounted her schedule for the day, and her words were filled with pink bubbles. Sister Fang Jiao, what are your plans? You heard it too. The Zhu family's main goal is to obtain the 7-leaf hollow grass, so they will definitely marry Sister Fang Bing. Do you plan to be Zhu Jing's concubine? Yun Chujio decided to turn the pink bubbles into bubbles. When Mo Fang Jiao heard Yun Chujio's question, her expression turned a little ugly. Brother Jinghu told me today that he want marry Mo Fang Bing. He will marry me. He said that Mo Fang Bing is a wooden beauty and he doesn't like her. Oh, that's what he said. Then, Sister Fang Jiao, do you believe what he said? Do you really think he will go against Madame Pan for you? Yun Chujio asked with a smile. Chapter 2157 Saving a Lost Lamb. Mo Fang Jiao was a little hesitant, but she still said, Anyway, Brother Jinghu won't lie to me. He will definitely marry me. He told me very firmly that he will definitely not marry Mo Fang Bing. Sister Fang Jiao, I won't say anything else. You also know that Zhu Jinghu and I once had a bad relationship. I have a lot to say. Perhaps you think that I'm framing him. In that case, I guess he will come to you tomorrow and find an opportunity to tell you that his mother doesn't agree to marry you. There's only one way to achieve his goal, and that is to make the rice ripe first. At that time, his mother will have no choice but to agree. At that time, what will you do? Yun Chujio stared at Mo Fang Jiao and asked. Mo Fang Jiao showed a hint of panic on her face. Of course I won't agree. How can we not get married? We can do that. Sister Fang Jiao, even though you're stubborn, I think you'll still be convinced by his flowery words. How about this, in order to let you see his true colors, let's put on a show. What show? Yun Chujio lowered her voice and said a few words. Mo Fang Jiao's face was red with embarrassment and anger. This is too much. Besides, Brother Jinghu won't do what you said. Sister Fang Jiao, since you don't have anything to do with him, this is a good opportunity to see if he really wants to marry you. This marriage is a matter of life and death. If he really has bad intentions, wouldn't your efforts be in vain? No matter how good the Zhu family is, if you marry them as a concubine, it will be a huge fire pit. Mo Fang Jiao bit her lips and hesitated for a moment. In the end, she stomped her feet and said, All right, I'll listen to you. Although she was simple-minded, she was not stupid enough to think that being Zhu Jing's concubine was a good way out. No matter how much the concubine was pampered, she would still be a slave and would never be able to raise her head. The two of them discussed for a while before Yun Chujio hopped away. Mo Fang Jiao did not sleep well the entire night. One moment she felt that what Yun Chujio said made sense, and the next moment, she felt that Zhu Jinghu would not lie to her. She didn't really like Zhu Jinghu. What she liked was the status of the first son of the Zhu family. If she could only be a concubine, then she might as well find a proper wife. At least her child would be able to raise his head in the future. The next morning, Zhu Jinghu sent someone to deliver a letter to Mo Fang Jiao and asked her to meet him at the tea house yesterday. Mo Fang Jiao dressed up meticulously and sent a maid to deliver a letter to Yun Chujio. Only then did she go to the tea house to meet Zhu Jinghu. You are reading on MYBOXN0vil.com. Zhu Jinghu was waiting impatiently in the tea house when he saw Mo Fang Jiao arrive. A lustful look flashed across his eyes. Yesterday, Mo Shaoquan had already told Lady Pan about the 7-leaf hollow grass and the 7-leaf reeds. He had also shown Lady Pan the 7-leaf reeds and the pharmacopoeia. Lady Pan did not suspect anything. She felt that the Mo family would only reject such a good thing if they had a brain. She immediately offered to leave. However, old Madame Tian and Lady Zhu both urged her to stay. She agreed to stay for another 2 days because of her face. Old Madame Tian and Zhu sure naturally had a purpose in urging her to stay. They wanted to facilitate the marriage between Zhu Jinghu and Mo Fang Bing. However, Pan sure no longer had this intention. Since the Mo family did not have the 7-leaf hollow grass, it would be better to find a girl with a better family background for their son to marry. This way, it would be helpful to their eldest son in the future. When Zhu Jinghu heard that he did not need to marry Mo Fangbing, he was naturally very happy. He planned to get Mo Fangjiao into bed today and then marry her as a concubine. Sister Fangjiao, you're really dazzling today. I can't take my eyes off you, Zhu Jinghu praised. Chapter 2158 was just as she said. Mo Fangjiao blushed. She felt that Yun Chujio was just trying to scare her. Brother Jing, who seemed to be sincere to her. The two sat down and drank some tea. Zhu Jinghu sighed and said, Sister Fangjiao, you know that my mother wants me to marry Sister Fangbing, but I like you. I told my mother about the matter yesterday, but she wouldn't agree no matter what. I'm so angry. Mo Fangjiao's heart sank. It was exactly the same as what Mo Fangqiao had said. Could it be that he really had that kind of plan? Mo Fangjiao squeezed out a smile. Brother Jinghu, then what do you think we should do? Why don't we just forget about it? Even if we're fated, we can't do anything about it. Zhu Jing's face revealed a pained expression. Sister Fangjiao, how can you say that? Do you know how much your brother's heart aches? The only person I want to marry is you. Mo Fangjiao was very touched in her heart. She felt that she had judged the heart of a gentleman with a petty heart. Just as she was about to console Zhu Jinghu, she heard Zhu Jinghu say, Sister Fangjiao, right now, we only have one way to get my mother to agree, and that is to cook rice before it's cooked. When the time comes, my mother will have to agree, and she will have to agree even if she doesn't agree. Mo Fangjiao's hands were tightly clenched in her sleeves. It was exactly the same as what Mo Fangjiao had said. Was he really planning to take advantage of her and force her to become his concubine? Zhu Jinghu saw that Mo Fangjiao didn't say anything, but didn't have any intense reactions. He felt that there was a possibility. He suppressed his joy and said, Sister Fangjiao, don't worry. I, Zhu Jinghu, am definitely not someone who will abandon you. As long as you become my person, I will definitely marry you openly. I, Zhu Jinghu, can only marry you. Mo Fangjiao recalled Yun Chujia's instructions and just lowered her head without saying anything. Zhu Jinghu could not help but be overjoyed when he saw the situation. He whispered, Sister Fangjiao, I will be leaving the morning of the day after tomorrow. Perhaps the marriage will be settled tomorrow, so we have to hurry. There is an inn not far from here. Why don't we? Mo Fangjiao still had a trace of hope in her heart, so she did not brush her sleeves and leave. She said in a low voice, I will go and book a room first. Then I will send someone to tell you which room. You can go there. After saying that, Mo Fangjiao lowered her head and left hurriedly, looking extremely embarrassed. Zhu Jinghu could not help but feel happy. Although this Mo Fangjiao was beautiful, her brain was really simple. She was so easy to get her hands on. Even if she married into a concubine in the future, it would be very easy to get rid of her. Mo Fangjiao left the tea house. Her heart was in a mess. Although she felt that what Yun Chujio said was very likely the final result, she still wanted to verify it. Xia Lian whispered into Mo Fangjiao's ear, Miss, Chun Xiao just gave me a note. You are reading on MYBOXN0VL. Mo Fangjiao took the note and saw that it said, Wang Family Inn, 2nd floor, room number 3. Mo Fangjiao took a deep breath and brought Xia Lian to the Wang Family Inn. They went straight to room number 3 on the 2nd floor. Probably because Yun Chujio had told them beforehand, no shopkeeper or waiter came to stop them. The two of them entered the room smoothly. Go and tell Zhu Jinghu the address of this place. Don't say anything else, or I won't let you off, Mo Fangjiao said to Xia Lian with a gloomy face. Xia Lian did not dare to say anything else. She went out of the room to the tea house and told Zhu Jinghu the address. Zhu Jinghu could not wait to rush to the Wang Family Inn. Just like before, he arrived at room number 3 on the 2nd floor without any obstruction. There were top-quality dishes and wine on the table in the room. Mo Fangjiao sat at the side with a red face. Chapter 2159. The truth is revealed. Zhu Jinghu walked in front of Mo Fangjiao and hugged her. Sister Fangjiao, a good night is short. What's there to eat? Let's just make out. Mo Fangjiao used her hand to stop Zhu Jinghu and said gently, "Brother Jinghu, this is considered our wedding night. We should at least have a cup of wine." Although Zhu Jinghu was extremely anxious, he didn't dare to be too forceful. He could only patiently take the wine cup that Mo Fangjiao handed over and drink it in one gulp. "Sister Fangjiao, are you done now?" Zhu Jinghu's eyes were like hooks as he stared at Mo Fangjiao. You first go to the bed and take off your clothes. I will be done in a moment." Mo Fangjiao lowered her head and said with a blushing face. Zhu Jinghu naturally wanted nothing more. He took off his clothes in no time and lay on the bed. "Sister Fangjiao, hurry up." Mo Fangjiao took off her clothes slowly while counting in her heart. 10, 9, 8. On the bed, Zhu Jinghu only felt his eyelids becoming heavier and heavier. Although he tried his best to stay awake, he still fell asleep. Mo Fangjiao shouted a few times. Seeing that Zhu Jinghu did not respond, she walked to the side of the bed. Her gaze was very complicated. She took out a dagger, gritted her teeth, and cut her arm, dripping fresh blood on the bed. Mo Fangjiao made the bedding into a mess. She also made her eyes red and swollen with the chili noodles that Yun Chujio provided. Only then did she sit on the chair and wait for Zhu Jinghu to wake up. Zhu Jinghu had sex with Mo Fangjiao in his dream. When he opened his eyes, he couldn't tell what was going on, but when he saw the messy bedding and the bloodstains on the bed, only then did he confirm that what had just happened was real. "Brother Jinghu, I'm already your person now. When are you going to my house to propose marriage?" Mo Fangjiao's eyes were red and swollen like peaches as she asked plaintively. Zhu Jinghu's eyes flashed. "Don't worry, I'll tell my mother when I go back tonight. Sister Fangjiao, it's still early. Come, let's have some fun." Mo Fangjiao stood up abruptly. "If you don't go to my house to propose marriage, I won't do this kind of thing with you anymore." Zhu Jinghu coaxed her for a while more. Seeing that Mo Fangjiao still refused to budge, he became impatient. With a cold face, he said, "Mo Fangjiao, don't be ungrateful. To tell you the truth, I have no intention of marrying you at all. If you coax me until I'm happy, I'll take you as my concubine. If you're stubborn, don't even think about having a concubine. I don't believe that anyone would marry a ruined woman like you." You are reading on myboxn0vl.com. Although Mo Fangjiao had already believed Yun Chujia's words in her heart, she still had a little bit of fantasy. Now that she heard Zhu Jinghu's words, her face turned pale. You're really lying to me?" Zhu Jinghu thought that Mo Fangjiao was afraid. He said proudly, "You know you're afraid? To tell you the truth, you're just a lady from a third-class family. You still want to be my wife? No way. Come over and serve me obediently. I'll take you in as a concubine. In the future, you'll give birth to a man and a woman. I won't treat you unfairly. Otherwise, I'll spread the news that you've been slept with by me. Let's see who still dares to marry you." "Zhu Jinghu, you bastard! Do you really think that I slept with you? The wine that you drank and the drunken dreams that I gave you were just your hallucinations. Mo Fangjiao, am really blind to think that you are a good match." Mo Fangjiao could not help but shiver. On one hand, she was angry. On the other hand, she was afraid. If Yun Chujio had not reminded her, she could foresee how miserable her future would be. Chapter 2160 will teach you a lesson. Zhu Jinghu was stunned for a moment before he laughed out loud. "Mo Fangjiao, your lie is too far-fetched. If you didn't sleep with me, then where did the blood on the bed come from?" Mo Fangjiao rolled up the sleeve on her left arm. There was a scratch on it that had not yet healed. She sneered and said, "The blood on the bed was caused by my cut on my arm. Zhu Jinghu, your Zhu family is rich and powerful. I can't afford to offend you. However, let me give you a piece of advice. If you walk too much at night, you will meet a ghost sooner or later. Take care of yourself." After saying that, Mo Fangjiao put on the veil that she had prepared beforehand and rushed out of the room. Zhu Jinghu was extremely vexed. This Mo Fangjiao seemed to be simple-minded. He did not expect that she would actually trick him. She was really detestable. Just as Zhu Jinghu was vexed, the door that was originally open was suddenly closed. Zhu Jinghu was stunned. At this moment, the sound of wind came from the back of his head. Before he could react, he was knocked unconscious by something. When Zhu Jinghu woke up, he found him sprawled on the ground. The strange thing was that other than his neck, he could not move the rest of his body. It was as if he was possessed. Just as Zhu Jinghu was panicking, he heard a stuttering woman's voice say, Zhu Lang, you made me suffer so much. I'm alone down there. Come down and accompany me. Zhu Jinghu could only hear the voice but could not see the person. He was so scared that he cried out in pain, You? Who are you? Where are you? You don't come over. Zhu Lang, don't tell me you don't even remember who I am? Then follow me down there and think about it. Zhu Jinghu felt his neck tighten as if he was strangled by something. He was so scared that he hurriedly said, You're Cui Huan? Yenner? Qianyu? Li Fong? Or Dong? You can't even remember my name, you heartless man. I'm going to dig out your heart and eat it. The voice said coldly. Zhu Jinghu was so scared that he peed his pants. He now completely believed that he had met a ghost because no matter how much he shouted, no one came to save him. Moreover, he was so strange that he could not move. This kind of stiffness was not caused by the confinement of spiritual power. It was because his body was no longer under his control. Grand, and I beg you, as long as you spare me, I will definitely change my past in the future. When I go back, I will burn paper money for you and hire people to perform rituals for you. Please spare me. Zhu Jinghu's nose was full of mucus and tears as he pleaded. Burn paper money? That's so troublesome. Just give me your storage ring directly. You are reading on MYBOXN0VL. Calm as he spoke, Zhu Jinghu felt the storage ring on his right hand being removed and then disappearing. Great, and since you took the storage ring, please spare me. Zhu Jinghu pleaded. I can spare you, but I have to teach you a lesson. Zhu Jinghu was wondering what the female ghost was talking about when he felt a sharp pain on his face and then fainted. Before Zhu Jinghu fainted, he heard the female ghost say in a sinister tone, I'm warning you, don't tell anyone about what happened today. Otherwise, Cui Huan, Yen, Qianyu, Li Fong, and Dong will come looking for you. When Zhu Jinghu regained consciousness again, he was awakened by his triangular-eyed follower. Young master, what happened to you? Zhu Jinghu raised his arm and found that he could move, and his Buddha's spiritual power had also recovered. He looked at his right hand again and saw that it was empty, and his spiritual sense was faintly in pain. Apparently, the spiritual sense on the storage ring had been forcefully erased by someone. He felt an unbearable pain on his face. He touched it with his hand and found a hand full of blood. He hurriedly ran to the mirror in the room and took a look. He saw a big cross on one side of his face, which was very ferocious and terrifying. Zhu Jinghu cried out in surprise and fainted again. Chapter 2161 Temporary Past. Zhu Jinghu's Sanjiaoyan follower had fed him medicine and injected his spiritual power, finally waking Zhu Jinghu up. Young master, what's wrong with you? Zhu Jinghu was about to say something when he remembered the female ghost's warning, and his face revealed a terrified expression. He shouted fiercely, Shut up! Is this something you can ask? Hurry up and buy me the flawless muscle pills. If there's a scar on my face, it'll kill you. Sanjiaoyan's lackey didn't dare to say anything more and quickly bought 2 bottles of flawless muscle pills. After applying the flawless muscle pills on his wound, Zhu Jinghu felt a little more at ease. He didn't dare to go back to the Mo family's main house for fear that his mother would press him. After thinking for a while, he came up with an idea. Wang Sheng, send someone to give this letter to my mother. Zhu Jinghu wrote a letter to Panshur. The gist of it was that he met a friend and went on a sightseeing trip together. He would return home in a few days and let her return to the Zhu family first. When the Pan family received Zhu Jinghu's letter, they were naturally furious. However, they could do nothing about it. The next day, they also left the Mo family's main house in a hurry. Naturally, their marriage with Mo Fangbing was not settled. Mo family's 5th house, Waning Moon Pavilion. Mo Fangjiao had an awkward expression as she thanked Yun Chujiao. Mo Fangjiao, Thank you so much for this. These food are all free. Yun Chujio said with a smile, Sister Fangjiao, we are sisters. There's no need to be so polite. Alright, don't give me this chestnut cake next time. I don't like it. You should give me more lotus cake and spirit fruit. It's best if you give me some candied fruits. Mo Fangjiao. The people of the Mo family suddenly realized that not only had Mo Fangjiao won the great elder's favor, but her relationship with Mo Fangbing and Mo Fangjiao had also suddenly improved. One had to know that Mo Fangbing was famous for being cold and aloof in the Mo family. Although Mo Fangjiao was a little better, she still had an arrogant look on her face. How did they become good friends with Mo Fangbing? It was really strange. Yun Chujio was very proud of herself. She had gained a lot from this matter with the Zhu family. You are reading on MBOX0.com. First of all, after this matter, the great elder recognized her even more. Secondly, she had eased her relationship with Mo Fangbing and Mo Fangjiao. Furthermore, it was very likely that she would tie up with Mo Fangbing in order to obtain a chance to further her studies. Finally, not only did this guy teach Xu Jinghu a lesson, but Zhu Jing's storage ring also had a lot of inventory. This guy had made a small fortune again. Although this guy had played tricks and wasted the remaining shadow escape talisman from last time, Zhu Jinghu still had an unused shadow escape talisman in his storage ring. This guy had made a profit. Although Yun Chujio was proud of herself, she had a real problem in front of her: the time limit for the temporary pass. She and Mo Shouting had already been on the eastern continent for a month. Considering the time they would need to travel, the 2-month time limit for the temporary pass was about to expire. If she didn't want to be punished, she had to return to the western continent as soon as possible, or the Mo family could immediately get her and Mo Shouting 2 more temporary passes. Either way, she and Mo Shouting had to return to the border between the eastern and western continents to undergo inspection. Otherwise, they would be put on the wanted list for illegal registration. The next morning, Yun Chujio came to see the Great Elder and told him about the temporary pass. The Great Elder had yet to decide whether to include Guangshuan branch in his family, so he decided to get Yun Chujio another temporary pass. As for Mo Shouting, there was no need for him to stay for the time being. He could return to the western continent and wait for further notice. Chapter 2162, Carrying the World on Your Back. The first elder explained the situation to Mo Shaoquan. Although Mo Shaoquan was extremely unwilling, he did not dare to go against the first elder's wishes, so he asked Mo Xiaoan to handle the matter. Mo Xiaoan did not dislike Yun Chujio as much as Mo Shaoquan did. Mo Fangjiao had been putting in a good word for Yun Chujio recently, so Mo Xiaoan did not mind Yun Chujio staying. At most, he would only provide her with some food. Mo Xiaoan immediately explained Mo Zioquan's intentions to Mo Shouting. Mo Shouting was already mentally prepared, so after some pleasantries, he brought Yun Chujio to the border between the eastern and western continents. This time, Manager Lu accompanied them. Manager Lu was now completely in awe of Yun Chujio. This young lady was simply a god. She had only been here for a month and had already settled the first elder. Who knew, she might soon become an official resident of the eastern continent. Mo Shouting, on the other hand, had a lot on his mind. Yun Chujio was so smart when no one was around. So, he asked in a low voice, "Grandfather, are you worried that I will only care about myself and not our Guangshunzi? Don't worry, I am not the type of person to ignore my family. Besides, I want to establish myself in my own family. If I don't have the support of Guangshunzi, I am nothing." Although Mo Shouting felt that Yun Chujio's words were a little unrefined, he was at least a little relieved. It made sense. If it wasn't for Guang Xuanji, Fang Chao would have no one to rely on. Moreover, her mother's grave was still in Guang Shunzi's ancestral grave. She would never be ungrateful. 8 days later, the flying spiritual device arrived at the border between the eastern and western continents. After Mo Shouting handed in the temporary pass, he gave Yun Chujio a few instructions. After crossing the border between the 2 continents, he found the Mo family's guards and reluctantly left. He Shi and the others did not see Yun Chujio, so their hearts were in a mess. They used their courage to ask Mo shouting a question. After finding out that Yun Chujio was safe and sound, they felt relieved. However, they were a little disappointed. Would the little ancestor who promised to take them on a pretentious flight abandon them? On the other side, Yun Chujio brought manager Lu to the staff on duty and prepared to renew a temporary pass for Yun Chujio. The leader on duty today was a slightly hunched middle-aged man. Usually, he was very flattering the people who came and went, so he was very arrogant. Seeing the Mo family token that manager Lu handed over, she couldn't help but curl her lips. Mo family? A third-class family just can't do it. A second-class family only has a pass for 4 months, and a third-class family only has 2 months. The two of them added together can only last as long as one of them. Yun Chujio's eyes suddenly lit up, and an idea suddenly came to her mind. You are reading on Ibio XN0 Come, sir, may I have a word with you? Yun Chujio said with a smile. Hunchback pursed his lips, but still brought Yun Chujio to the side. Little girl, what's the matter? Sir, I want to hide it from you. I know some face-to-face skills. One look and you can tell that you are an extraordinary person. Sooner or later, you will amaze everyone. Yun Chujio said with a face full of admiration. The hunchback looked at Yun Chujio suspiciously. He couldn't help but sneer. Little girl, you are simply lying through your teeth. I know my own limitations. Let's not talk about other things. I am a hunchback. What good fortune can I have? Sir, what you said is wrong. Haven't you heard of a saying? A hunchback carries the universe. Your hunchback is very particular. This means that you are a person with great fortune, which is why your back bulges. To put it bluntly, the reason why bastards live longer is because of a hunchback. Therefore, your hunchback definitely has a hidden meaning. Believe me, sooner or later, you will rise to the top. Yun Chujio said mysteriously. Chapter 2163 Yun Chujio's foxtail. When the hunchbacked leader heard Yun Chujio's words, his face was filled with confusion and bewilderment. Although it was a little inappropriate for the little girl to compare him to a bastard, this was the first time she had heard of someone who carried the universe on his back. Could it be that he was really a person with great luck? When Yun Chujio saw that the hunchback did not scold her, she knew that the hunchback was willing to listen to such words. Hence, she continued with a smile. When the heavens bestow a great task on a person, they must first work hard on their will, strain their muscles and bones, and starve their skin. This hunchback of yours is used by the heavens to temper your will. As long as you are tenacious, sooner or later, you will stand out and amaze everyone. When Hunchback was tricked by Yun Chujio, he immediately felt that the hunchback on his back was not a hunchback. It was simply a witness to amaze everyone. Subconsciously, he straightened his back and felt that his future was bright. The blood in his body was boiling. He wished that he could immediately do something spectacular. When Yun Chujio saw that he was almost done fooling her, she began to reveal her foxtail. She lowered her voice and said, "My lord, this is just a small token of appreciation. Please keep it well. You must not reject it. I am investing it in advance. When you soar to the sky, please take care of me." Hunchback was very surprised when he saw the spirit stones that Yun Chujio turned over. He did not expect that Yun Chujio would be so generous. She actually gave him 1,000,000 high-grade spirit stones in one go. This little girl was really generous. Hunchback couldn't believe it. This little girl gave him 1,000,000 high-grade spirit stones just because she thought highly of him? Could it be that he was really lucky? Master, if there's nothing else, I'll leave first. If we're fated, we'll meet again. Yun Chujio turned around and prepared to leave. When Hunchback saw that Yun Chujio was really going to leave, he finally believed that Yun Chujio really didn't have any other requests. She just wanted to express her sincerity. A warm feeling welled up in the Hunchback's heart. He had lived for so many years, but this was the first time he had been admired and admired so much. This feeling could not be described with words. He felt that if he did not do something, his conscience would definitely hurt. Thus, he said, "Little girl, wait a moment." Yun Chujio turned her head and asked doubtfully, "Sir, what orders do you have?" Hunchback felt even more apologetic. Listen to how respectful the little girl was to him. You and orders really made him feel very sincere. Little girl, is there anything that you need my help with? Hunchback asked eagerly. Well, I don't have anything to trouble you with for the time being. Thank you very much. Yun Chujio said very politely. Hunchback felt even more apologetic. It was as if he didn't help Yun Chujio with something, he felt that he was unforgivable. You are reading on Audiobook. Calm at this moment, Yun Chujio frowned. She seemed to have remembered something. Sir, I remember that I really do have something that I need your help with. But forget it. It seems to be a little difficult, so I won't trouble you. Yun Chujio was about to turn around and leave when her hunchback's eyes lit up. It's no trouble. It's no trouble. What exactly do you want? This alright. Since you've asked, then I'll be thick-skinned and say it. Isn't the Mo family's temporary pass limited to one person for 2 months? However, now that I'm the only one left, can you count the rights of these 2 people on me? This means that I have 4 months to stay, so I don't have to come over to renew it. After all, I've wasted a lot of time on the road. Please don't make things difficult for me. If it's difficult, just pretend that I didn't say anything. Yun Chujio said with an embarrassed look. Chapter 2164, the 4-month limit. After Hunchback heard Yun Chujio's words, he readily agreed. What's so difficult about that? Don't worry, he'll directly give you a pass for the 4-month limit. Oh right, little girl, I've been on duty here for the past year. You don't have to come here personally next time. Just send your subordinate over. He'll also give you a pass for the 4-month limit. An obedient little girl like you won't do anything bad. There's no need for tests or anything like that. Yun Chujio was pleasantly surprised. She covered her mouth with her hand and looked incredulous. My lord, is this really okay? It won't bring you any trouble, right? The hunchback's confidence suddenly swelled. He patted his chest and said, I can still make the decision on such a small matter. Don't worry. Yun Chujio naturally thanked him profusely. Her compliments were like free money. It was as if she was trying to trick the hunchback to the point that he was standing shoulder to shoulder with the sun. The 2 of them chatted for a while more before Hunchback brought Yun Chujio back to the office and looked at Manager Lu a few times. The reason why Hunchback looked at Manager Lu a few times was to remember him the next time he came. However, Manager Lu had a misconception. What exactly did this little ancestor say to this manager? Why did that manager keep looking at him? Could it be that the little ancestor was scheming against him again? That was not right. He had not provoked the little ancestor recently. Hunchback quickly completed a temporary pass and handed it to Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio took the pass and happily brought Manager Lu onto the Flying Spirit Tool. After the Flying Spirit Tool traveled for a distance, Yun Chujio waved at Manager Lu. Manager Lu, come here. I want to show you something good. Manager Lu looked baffled. When he walked over, Yun Chujio waved a jade slip in her hand. Miss Fong Chao, isn't this a temporary pass? Manager Lu asked in confusion. Yun Chujio pouted and handed the temporary pass to Manager Lu. Manager Lu took it and looked at it, then he was dumbfounded. For months? That's not right. Our Mo family only has 2 months of authority. Why is your temporary pass limited to 4 months? Manager Lu rubbed his eyes and read it several times, word by word. Manager Lu, that's why you still have to continue learning. You still have a lot to learn. Although our Mo family only has 2 months of authority, isn't it 4 months for the 2 of us together? Now that my grandfather has returned, of course I have 4 months left. Yun Chujio said with a smug look. You are reading on Audiobook. Calm. This fellow felt that spending 1 million spiritual stones was simply worth it. This way, she would save at least half a month's time on the inside and outside. Moreover, she wouldn't have to come over personally next time, which would save a lot of time. What was time? Time was money. 1 million spiritual stones was a small matter. Manager Lu was completely dumbfounded. Why did she bring it along like this? He had never heard that a family's pass could add up to a person's head. This was too incredible. Just as Manager Lu was in a daze, Yun Chujio said leisurely, "Do you know why that hunchback kept staring at you?" Manager Lu shook his head with a blank look. "I don't know." "Do you know the reason, Miss Fangchao?" "Yes, the reason why the hunchback looked at you was to remember your appearance. Because the next time I change my temporary pass, I don't have to come over personally. You can just take my temporary pass and change it for me for 4 months. Chapter 2165. Paying her to shut up. Manager Liu's mouth was wide open. His eyes were filled with shock and disbelief. This could be done? What exactly did this great aunt say to that hunchback? That hunchback actually treated her so well? Could it be that hunchback was her long-lost relative? Do you really want to know how I did it? Yun Chujio asked with a smile. Manager Lu nodded his head vigorously. He was really curious. I can tell you, but this is a good opportunity for you to learn. Are you going to listen to me for nothing? Yun Chujio crossed her legs and asked with a half-smile. How much is that? Manager Lu staggered. He had to pay for the tuition fee to listen to gossip? Little ancestor, can you be more unkind? We are old acquaintances. I won't charge you more. 1 million. Manager Lu shook his head like a rattledrum. Miss Fangchao, I still won't listen. Why are you in such a hurry? I haven't finished speaking. We are so close. I'll give you a discount. 200,000. How about it? The discount is low enough, right? Let me tell you. Don't look at it as a small matter. You can learn many tricks from it. I guarantee that you will benefit from it for your whole life. 200,000 is just the money for a high-end dress. 200,000 won't make you suffer. 200,000 won't make you fall for it. Miss Fang, I'll buy it. I'll buy it. Manager Lu thought to himself. I'll buy her to shut up with money. Otherwise, this little ancestor might turn 200,000 into 500,000. Yun Chujio accepted Manager Liu's 200,000 with a smile. That's right. Money is a bastard. If we lose it, we'll earn more. We only get what we give up. Manager Liu's face was stiff. It was easy to say. Was money that easy to earn? In the blink of an eye, the 200,000 yuan was gone. He wanted to hear how this little ancestor tricked that hunchback. Yun Chujio immediately told Manager Lu the whole story. Manager Lu was dumbfounded. How could she play this game? She was the one who asked the hunchback to do something. How did it become that the hunchback took the initiative to help her? How is it? Manager Lu, is my 1 million worth it? Yun Chujio asked smugly. It's worth it. It's simply worth it. Miss Fangchao, I heard that someone once spent tens of millions of spirit stones trying to find someone to accommodate him for a few days, but it was unsuccessful. I didn't expect that you spent 1 million to extend it by 2 months. Moreover, you don't have to go personally next time. You're really amazing. Manager Lu silently added in his heart. How the fuck is it 1 million? You black-hearted person clearly only spent 800,000. That 200,000 is mine. It's mine. You are reading on MYBO XN0 View. Manager Lu, I won't let your 200,000 go to waste. I'll give you some pointers now. Sometimes when you ask someone to do something, don't make things clear right away. Also, don't kowtow and give money right away. Although money is a good thing, sometimes it has to be combined with other things to be useful. Most importantly, you'd better let the other party take the initiative to offer help. This way, he will feel comfortable and will do his best. Yun Chujio said with a smile. Manager Lu nodded repeatedly when he heard that. He felt that the $200,000 was not wasted. Although this little ancestor was full of bad ideas, he had to admit that she was too proficient in the ways of the world. It was a journey of 8 days from the border between the eastern and western continents to Tiger City. Yun Chujio was not in a hurry to travel, so when she saw a forest below, she suggested to go for a few days of training. Chapter 2166 Psychedelic Forest. Upon hearing Yun Chujio's words, Manager Lu could not help but complain in his heart. Miss Fangchao, although your intentions are good, we only have 5 guards with us. Moreover, Our spiritual power isn't particularly high. What if we run into danger? Let's just walk around the edge of the forest. We're not going in. It's fine. Well, just take it as a distraction, Yun Chujio said with a smile. She had already made contact with Enfeng, and Enfeng was not far away from her. It was not a problem for them to walk around the edge of the forest. Manager Lu knew that Yun Chujio had a good idea, so he did not dare to say anything more. He let the flying spirit tool land on the edge of the forest. Manager Lu, what's the name of this forest? Yun Chujio asked while looking at it curiously. Manager Lu took out the map and looked at it. His expression changed. Miss Fangchao, this forest is a psychedelic forest. It's said that there are many poisonous mushrooms in the depths of the forest that can make people hallucinate. Why don't we go somewhere else? Don't worry, I'm just walking around the edge. When Yun Chujio heard that there were poisonous mushrooms, she was overjoyed. The more poisonous the mushroom, the more delicious it was. No matter what, she had to pick some poisonous mushrooms to eat back home. Manager Lu and the others did not know what this guy was planning. They believed him and followed Yun Chujio into the psychedelic forest. The outer area of the psychedelic forest was no different from the forest in the Western continent. There were only some yellow rank herbs on the ground occasionally, which proved that the spiritual energy here was very rich. Yun Chujio saw some wild fruits inside and didn't care whether they were poisonous or not. She just kept pulling them into her storage ring. Manager Lu clicked his tongue as he watched, thinking to himself that this little ancestor was really over the top, not even letting go of wild fruits. As they walked deeper, some demon beasts began to appear. However, perhaps because of the edge, the level of the demon beasts that appeared were not very high, and most of them were around level 27. As Yun Chujio was pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger, she was clearly at level 4 of the spiritual profound realm. Others looked like they were only at level 6 of the spiritual venerable realm, so when they saw a level 27 demonic beast. Manager Lu said fawningly, Miss Fenhao, didn't you want to have a trial? It's most suitable to use this level 27 long-horned violent bull to practice. Yun Chujio curled her lips. Why use a butcher's knife to kill a chicken? I'll only attack if I meet someone of a higher level. Manager Lu cursed in his heart. You're only at the 6th level of the spiritual venerable realm, what are you so arrogant for? You might not even be able to deal with someone at the 27th level. And you still dare to dream of dealing with someone even more powerful? Just as Manager Lu was thinking about it, he heard a few sneers. Some people really overestimate themselves. Someone at the 6th level of the spiritual venerable realm is still so picky about dealing with high-level demonic beasts. It's simply hilarious. That's right. Does she think that anyone can come to this psychedelic forest? One look and you can tell that she's a country bumpkin. She doesn't know anything. She's just here to court death. Along with the sneers, a group of people walked over from afar. There were men and women, and there were many guards following behind them. Yun Chujio saw at a glance that there was an ancient character embroidered on the corner of a red-clothed girl's clothes. Yun Chujio's eyes darkened. A member of the Yi family? It was really a narrow road for enemies. She did not know who the person was from the Yi family. Manager Lu was very shrewd. When he saw that the person was not to be trifled with, he immediately gave Yun Chujio a look to advise her not to cause trouble, or else she would get into trouble. Of course, Yun Chujio was not stupid enough to hit a rock with an egg. Not to mention the spiritual power of these young men, the guards behind them did not seem to have a lower spiritual power than Enfeng. They were probably at the spiritual void level. It would definitely not end well if they fought. Chapter 2167. You guys look a little alike. Yun Chujio's side remained silent. Those people mocked her a little, but seeing that it was meaningless, they decided to leave. At this moment, a young girl dressed in white said in surprise, Bingyu, why does that country bumpkin look a little like you? Previously, no one had really looked closely at Yun Chujio's appearance. When they heard the white-clothed girl say this, many people's gazes fell on Yun Chujio, especially the red-clothed girl. She was annoyed to discover that. The country bumpkin opposite her did indeed look similar to her. The most hateful thing was that the country bumpkin was more beautiful than her. The red-robed girl felt that she could not hold back anymore. She glared at the white-robed girl. Lu Jinluan, why are you comparing me to a trash? What are your intentions? The white-robed girl. Lu Jinluan's face was filled with embarrassment. I was just saying that. Besides, how can a trash like her be compared to you? Don't be angry. If you don't like her, just get someone to kill them all. Yun Chujio narrowed her eyes. She made it sound so natural. It seemed that this Lu Jinluan was not a good person. Moreover, her family background should be pretty good. She might even be a disciple of a first-class family. Before the red-dressed girl could speak, a man who looked somewhat similar to Lu Jinluan berated, Jinluan, don't spout nonsense. Sister Bingyu, it's more important for us to look for the rainbow crystal mushroom. Let's hurry. That man was obviously the leader among these young people. Hence, even though Lu Jinluan and the red-dressed girl wanted to find trouble with Yun Chujio, they still followed that man and continued to walk inside. When he saw that Lu Jinluan and the rest had disappeared, Manager Lu wiped the sweat off his forehead. Even his back was drenched. He spoke with a sobbing tone. Miss Ethao, if my guess is correct, those people are from first-class families. They are not people we can afford to provoke. If you want to train, let's go somewhere else. Otherwise, if we meet them again, we might be doomed. Yun Chujio's eyes flashed. She knew that if they really fought, her current strength would be like an egg hitting a stone. In the end, Yun Chujio decided to avoid Lu Jinluan and the others. After all, it was not too late for a gentleman to take revenge. She would wait and see in the future. Therefore, she asked Manager Lu, if we go further, is there still such a large forest? Manager Lu did not dare to lie, so he could only tell the truth. Although there are still a few forests, the area is very small. Yun Chujio narrowed her eyes and thought for a while. How about this? We go around to the west so that we won't meet them. Manager Lu heard Yun Chujio's words and felt that it was fine. After all, they were going in two different directions. They shouldn't meet those people again. Therefore, the group took a detour of more than 10 miles to the west of the psychedelic forest and continued to walk inside. At this moment, a 30-step ironbone wild boar rushed out and pounced on Yun Chujio while howling. The guards behind were about to help when Yun Chujio shouted, "Don't worry about it. They'll deal with it." Yun Chujio was already holding her anger in her heart. Seeing that this damn ironbone wild boar didn't pounce on anyone, but pounced on her, she became even angrier. Fuck, even a persimmon is easy to pick, and even a pig like you dares to bully me? Today, I'll make sure you never come back. Manager Lu and those guards had helpless expressions. This Miss Fong Chao was good in every way, but she was too proud. You're only at the 6th level of the spiritual venerable realm, and this 30-level ironbone wild boar is equivalent to the 9th level of the spiritual venerable realm. Can you do it? Chapter 2168. Awesome 10,000-year-old fire marrow. Yun Chujio nimbly dodged the ironbone wild boar's attack and fired several bolts of lightning at the boar. As Yun Chujio's spiritual power increased, the number of bolts of lightning she fired not only increased to 8, but each bolt of lightning was as thick as an adult's pinky finger. Whether it was Manager Lu or the 5 guards, it was the first time they saw Yun Chujio use her spiritual power to attack. They were all dumbfounded. So this was the spiritual power attack of the Heavenly Thunder Spirit Root. It was really awesome. This was simply a miniature Heavenly Thunder. However, after they were shocked, they shook their heads. Although the spiritual power attack of the Heavenly Thunder Spirit Root was pretty awesome, as the spiritual power increased, it was better to use a spiritual beast to attack. They didn't know if Miss Fong Chao could materialize her spiritual power. Just as they were nodding and shaking their heads, a burnt smell suddenly came along with the screams of the ironbone wild boar. They took a closer look and saw the huge body of the ironbone wild boar fall to the ground. Black smoke rose from its body. It was obviously dead. Manager Lu and the 5 guards looked at each other. What exactly happened? How did the ironbone wild boar die in the blink of an eye? They were dumbfounded, and Yun Chujio was even more dumbfounded. Her back was facing Manager Lu and the other three. She stared at her right hand. At the moment just now, there seemed to be a flame shooting out from her palm. Then, she realized that the iron-bone wild boar was emitting black smoke. Could it be the 10,000-year-old fire marrow? The flame on Yun Chujio's right palm was no different from usual, as if everything was an illusion for Yun Chujio. Miss Fso, you are really amazing. You killed a level 30 iron-bone wild boar in less than 3 moves. Manager Lu came back to his senses and said flatteringly he thought that Yun Chujio used the power of lightning to kill the iron-bone wild boar, and the reason why the iron-bone wild boar was emitting smoke was naturally the result of lightning. Yun Chujio couldn't explain further. She said with a smile, "Of course. I have a heavenly thunder spirit root, so I naturally have special abilities. Let's go. Let's continue to take a look inside." Manager Lu saw that Yun Chujio was indeed capable, so he didn't stop her and continued to follow Yun Chujio inside. Not long after, they met a level 32 sword-toothed double-tailed leopard. Yun Chujio wanted to test the 10,000-year-old fire marrow, so before Manager Lu and the others could react, Yun Chujio rushed forward and fought with the saber-toothed double-tailed leopard. Manager Lu was anxious and angry. He thought to himself, this Miss Fong Chao was too easy to be proud of. Although she had easily killed the iron-bone wild boar just now, it was still a level 30 demonic beast after all, and this saber-toothed double-tailed leopard was level 32. That was equivalent to the 2nd to 3rd level of the Lingxian realm. Could she do it? Be careful. If Miss Fong Chao is no match for you, hurry up and save her. Manager Liu's words came to an abrupt end because he heard a few screams from the saber-toothed twin-tailed leopard. Then, he saw that the saber-toothed twin-tailed leopard had turned into a corpse that was emitting black smoke. Manager Lu and the 5 guards were so shocked that they could not speak. How was this possible? In the blink of an eye, the level 32 saber-toothed twin-tailed panther had died? They were shocked, and Yun Chujio was even more shocked. This 10,000-year-old fire marrow was too awesome, wasn't it? It was only in its infancy, but it was already so powerful? It could practically be compared to Xiao Hanio's Nirvana fire. Xiao Hanio was immediately unhappy. "Master, what you said is wrong. The 10,000 years fire marrow only injured a level 32 demonic beast. Back then, my Nirvana fire killed a large group of high-level demonic beasts, and there was no lack of level 37 and above demonic beasts. Moreover, I am only a small phoenix." Chapter 2169 Fire was also unreliable. Yun Chujio curled her lips. "Your Nirvana fire is indeed powerful, but didn't you say that you would fall into hibernation after using it once? How could it be convenient to use this 10,000-year-old fire marrow?" Xiao Hanio was poked in a sore spot by Yun Chujio. She rolled her eyes and did not say anything. Yun Chujio, this fellow, felt that she had opened the door to a new world. She did not expect to accidentally obtain such a good treasure. So what if she did not have a Qiling? Didn't this little flame still help her kill demonic beasts? This was simply a good helper for killing people and stealing goods. Manager Lu only recovered after a long time. He didn't even know how to say flattery, because he couldn't think of any adjectives to express his shock. He felt that he must have encountered a fake 6th-level spiritual venerable. Which family's 6th-level spiritual venerable could kill a 32nd-level demonic beast in an instant? Even the guards at the 7th or 8th level of the spiritual profound realm couldn't do it. Yun Chujio didn't care what they were thinking. This guy was eager to find a new prey to test the power of the 10,000-year fire marrow. Therefore, when she saw a 33rd-level windblade golden-striped tiger rushing over, she almost rushed up excitedly. Manager Lu and the 5 guards had learned from the previous experience. They felt that Yun Chujio was a pervert and didn't need their help at all. Therefore, they just watched the show from the back, wanting to see how Yun Chujio killed the demon beast. Yun Chujio was in a tragic situation. That was because she struck dozens of lightning bolts, but the damn 10,000-year-old fire marrow did not come out. On the contrary, the Windblade golden-spotted tiger grew stronger as it fought, forcing Yun Chujio to only be able to parry and not be able to fight back. Manager Lu even said to the 5 guards, "I think Miss Fangchao wants to train a little longer this time. Otherwise, she would have killed the Windblade golden-spotted tiger long ago." Manager Lu is right. I think so too. Miss Fangchao must be playing with it. When she's done playing with it, she will kill it. Yun Chujio almost vomited blood when she heard their discussion. "Which eye of yours saw me playing with this damn Windblade golden-spotted tiger? If I continue playing with it, I won't be able to save my life, right?" Seeing that the 10,000-year-old fire marrow was not reliable, Yun Chujio did not bother to hide it anymore. She released several piglets of spiritual power towards the Windblade golden-spotted tiger. Manager Lu and the others stumbled and almost fell to the ground. Oh God! Was this Miss Fangchao playing around? Her spiritual beast was actually a piglet. This was too incompatible with the Heavenly Thunder spiritual root, right? The Windblade golden-spotted tiger clearly did not put the spiritual piglet in its eyes. It casually used the wind blade to hit the spiritual piglet. The price of underestimating the enemy was obviously heavy. Although Yun Chujio used an intermediate-level physical transformation technique, the perverse nature of the spiritual piglet was beyond the understanding of the wind blade golden-spotted tiger. In addition to Yun Chujio's swift movement technique, an hour later, the Windblade golden-spotted tiger was covered in injuries and died. Yun Chujio, this fellow, was so tired that she sat on the ground and panted heavily. She cursed in her heart, "Damn it, I really can't rely on others. Even fire is unreliable. I still have to work hard to cultivate." Although this damn 10,000-year-old fire marrow was powerful, it was too unreliable. They did not know when they would help or when they would play dead. It was best not to count on it in the future. Although Manager Lu and the other 3 were very curious about the little piglet of spiritual power, they did not dare to ask too much. They felt that what they had encountered today was simply unbelievable. This Miss Fangchao was simply inhuman. Chapter 2170. Do you want to eat poisonous mushrooms that afternoon? Yun Chujio killed 2 more level 33 demon beasts. During dinner, Yun Chujio looked at Manager Lu and the other 6 people. She smiled and said, "I'm good at everything, but if someone tells others some of my secrets, it'll definitely be very unhappy. Manager Lu understands the consequences of my unhappiness, okay?" Manager Lu could not help but shiver. He immediately understood the meaning behind Yun Chujio's words. He immediately said, "Miss Fangchao, don't worry. I will keep my mouth shut about what happened in the psychedelic forest. I won't tell anyone. If I say anything, I will be struck by lightning and die a horrible death." The other 5 guards were not stupid. They immediately swore the same oath as Manager Lu. Yun Chujio said with a smile, "Sigh, I was just saying that. Look, you all took it seriously." The corners of Manager Lu and the 5 guards' eyes twitched violently. This was the guy who had said that he was taking advantage of them, right? Did they dare not take it seriously? What did you mean when you said that while holding a large kitchen knife? In the next few days, Yun Chujio spent her time at the edge of the psychedelic forest looking for demon beasts to train. Manager Lu and the 5 guards were lucky enough to witness the perverted little purple needle again. They were already numb to it. Miss Fangchao was a pervert anyway, so it was normal for any perverted thing to happen to her. Really, it was normal. On the morning of the 6th day, Manager Lu said to Yun Chujio, "Miss Fangchao, we have already stayed in the psychedelic forest for 5 days. It's time for us to leave." Yun Chujio nodded. Although she was drooling over the poisonous mushrooms in the center of the psychedelic forest, she realized that the level of the demonic beasts in the psychedelic forest was too high. There was no way for her to reach the center of the psychedelic forest, therefore, she didn't plan to take the risk and go there. She had to admit that this guy had learned his lesson from the incident in the Fallen Phoenix forest last time. No matter how good the things were, if the risk was too high, it was better not to take the risk. "Master, do you really want to eat those poisonous mushrooms?" Xiao Mogu, who always kept the mushrooms in the corner of the spirit beast bag, suddenly asked Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio was stunned. Of course, I heard that the poisonous mushrooms taste very delicious. I want to make some stewed meat to eat. That's easy. I'll help Master make some. You just wait here. Xiao Mogu said confidently. Yun Chujio was skeptical. Xiao Mogu was not lying, right? How could it make poisonous mushrooms for her? Manager Lu saw that Yun Chujio said to leave, but her legs did not move. He had to force himself to ask, Miss How, should we go outside? No rush, I'm a little sleepy. Let me take a nap before we leave. Yun Chujio yawned and said. The corner of Manager Liu's eyes twitched violently. Little ancestor, even if you want to lie, can you please find a sincere excuse? It's only been 2 hours since you woke up, and you're already sleepy? Are you kidding me? Although Manager Lu was complaining in his heart, he did not dare to say much. He could only protect Yun Chujio in the middle with the 5 guards. He watched Yun Chujio sitting cross-legged on the ground with her eyes closed to rest. After a while, everyone smelled a charming fragrance. It was a fragrance that made people's souls tremble. Manager Lu and the 5 guards looked a little distracted. They stood up and planned to follow the fragrance. Yun Chujio quickly jumped up and took out a self-made gas mask from her storage ring and gave it to them. She shouted sternly, "Put it on quickly. This fragrance is poisonous." You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.